Thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, proudly brought to you by 1Equine for the equine athlete. And we're back at Albion Park this Saturday night, another 10-race program. By far and away, the headline race for mine this weekend is late in the program. It's this 3-year-old clash. As we know, Fade Awaits, he's locked and loaded for the Tab Eureka. That race a fortnight away, so he's tuning up for that big race. It's the world's richest race. And he takes on Final Deadline, the former Kiwi. These two horses met recently in the Queensland Derby. Final Deadline lands the inside draw. Fade Awaits has an outside draw to contend with. Just a small field over the mile. Final Deadline connections are considering a trip to Melbourne for the upcoming Group 1 Victoria Derby. So there's a fair bit to shake out with this clash on Saturday night. Really looking forward to it. In this edition, though, of Weekend Winners, we're going to catch up with Adam Richardson and Matty Elkins. Adam Richardson now joins us to go through his busy night on Saturday night. He's in the hot seat. Adam, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
We start with race 1. Best way to start with the first race. Beach Ride is your drive. Now, he was able to score last week at Redcliffe. They went unbelievably fast time, near track record time, and he was able to put them to the sword comfortably. He's going to need a little bit of luck here from the draw, but winning form is good form, right?
It is good form, and especially, like you say, it was a super quick time, nearly track record. So, you know, he should be thereabouts, really.
Yeah. You look at this front row for this race on Saturday night, and there's a number of in-form horses here. Major Hot last start winner going well. Commodore Jujon last start winner. Rocket City going really well. Darren's flying. Pumpkin Pat's a last start winner. Are you hoping they just go absolutely crazy early here?
It'd be nice. It'd be real nice for us. Like our fella, he's versatile. He's done it from both ends. He can sit parked, you know, so he's tough enough to fight it out if they do go solid up front.
Yeah, he's a classy type, and he's versatile. He proved that last week at Redcliffe. That win didn't shock anyone last week, did it?
No, I don't think so. Maybe the way he done it, the time-wise and stuff, but I don't think it shocked anyone that he got up.
Okay. Major Hot, is he the obvious horse to beat, given that he's drawn barrier 1, he's a last start winner?
Oh, for sure. He's in form. He's been racing well. You know, Pete likes how he'd hold the front. So, you know, like you say, if they go hard early, it'll just open up options.
Yeah, I'll be stunned if they don't go hard in this race, because there's so many in-form horses, like I said. They've all got to get a piece of the action somehow.
They do, Chris, and they all can pump out big miles, so it'll be interesting.
Okay, well, that's a good race to start the program there on Saturday night. Your driver's Beach Wide. What about in race 2? Watch Me Dazzle. You sat behind him last start. That was at that Redcliffe meeting last week.
Yep.
What sort of feel did he give you last week?
Yeah, not bad. Sort of went back from the wide arm, and it was in that same race that they went time, and sort of hit the line okay from back in the pack. So he actually didn't feel too bad at all.
Yeah, it gives the impression that he's going to bob up sooner rather than later. His local runs so far have all been okay. So barrier 1, unknown gate speed. What are you expecting here at the start?
I'm expecting to sort of try and hold a forward position. Having a look at his form down south, he was a front runner and, you know, like to just roll along. So we'll see what happens early, and if we can hold up, I reckon he'd give a good crack there too.
Yeah, much like the first race, there's several informed runners in this race, so it's going to be competitive.
It is for sure, especially being over the 21. You know, you don't want to burn your bridges too early, so yeah, we'll just see what happens.
Does the distance suit Watch Me Dazzle?
I don't think it really bothers him. He's got form on both sides coming from down there, so yeah, I don't think it's a big concern.
Okay, well, expect a good run there from the inside draw for Watch Me Dazzle. What about in race number 3? You're down to drive Gotta Have Me. Surely she's getting close. Her last start effort when second was really good. Can Saturday night be her night?
Yeah, look, it wouldn't surprise me. She's not blessed with gate speed. She did leave the arm a bit better yesterday and toughed it out in the death. You know, if we can sort of hold the death, you know, I think she'd be thereabouts. Like, she feels like she's a bit more tougher than sort of sitting sprinting. So, you know, if we can drive her aggressively, we will, and she won't be far away.
Okay, so in many ways, this is a perfect draw for her gate 2.
It is. She just needs to be able to get out quick enough to hold that position.
Okay, Kylo and Queen's a fast beginner drawn to your inside. She looks the leader. I'm a Queen Bee's having her first local start, so it's sort of hard to map how this race plays out early.
It is for sure, yeah. Like you say, the one should hold up, likes to race forward, and, you know, if we can just hold that position, we'll be right there.
All right. Let's go across to race 5. Almighty Max, you were aboard this guy when he won last week at Redcliffe. Did he surprise you in any way last week with the way he was able to do it?
Not really. The week before he was first up and I sort of just drove him quiet and he hit the line quite nice. You know, we elected to go forward and try and cross. We couldn't do that, so we sat behind leader and he come to the lane and got up the straight real good. So he's just starting to hit his form again, I think, and he'll be right there if we get a bit of luck in running.
Yeah, he seems like he's a little underrated, this guy. So third up, should be nearing peak fitness now. And you look at that front line, there's a bit of pressure early. So maybe this is a perfect setup for him here on Saturday night.
That's for sure, yeah. Like I say, he's given me a good feel both times, and you know I'm happy to sit behind him Saturday night.
Okay, Almighty Max, a good chance there, chasing back-to-back wins after scoring at Redcliffe last week. What about Little Aurora Joy in race number 6? This is the mare's band 5. Smallfield's going to surge. She's likely to drift back. Can she round them up?
I think a bit like the first race, if the speed is on, you know, she's a little opportunist, isn't she? So the speed's on, she can always finish over the top.
Yeah, Miss Idaho's the horse to beat, unbeaten since coming up from South Australia. But the thing with Aurora Joy, she never goes a bad race. So you look at her last couple, sectionally she's been so consistent.
Yeah, she has been, and she felt really good this morning in track work. So, you know, like I say, the speed's on, she can always finish over the top.
Okay, that's Aurora Joy. Let's go to race 8. Pennypack is your drive here. She's dropping out of last week's Triad final. That was the race won by Laderniere beating Riley Rainbow. This looks a lot easier.
It does, and I was very happy with her run. We elected to go to the fence, got held up until late, and when she got out, she actually monstered the line. So, you know, I'm giving her a good shot Saturday night.
So what do you do at the start here? How does she get involved early from gate 4?
I think we just have to see what unfolds in the first 50 and sort of weigh it up from there.
Okay. Looks fairly open, this race. Who's the horse to beat?
Look, like you say, it is fairly open. You know, it depends on what happens early to where everyone ends up, I think.
Okay. But a good chance?
Good chance for sure, yeah.
All right. Which is the best of your drives there on Saturday night?
Probably most looking forward to driving Beach Ride.
Okay, in the first race. Just hoping for a stack of early pressure.
That's it.
All right. Hey, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
No worries. Thanks, Chris.
There's Adam Richardson joining us. So a good book of drives coming up on Saturday night. Matty E now joins us to go through his drives on Saturday night. He's in the hot seat. Matty, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Race 3, you've got 2 runners lining up in this mare's quali. Kylo and Queen drawn the ace. Out of Eden drawn 10. Was it a tough choice which way to go here as far as your drive was concerned?
Yeah, it was actually. I tossed and turned a little bit and only made up my mind late there, so it was tough.
Kylo and Queen draws the inside gate. She's got gate speed. It's 1 mile. She's going well. So is this the right race for her on the weekend?
Yeah, that was probably what pushed me over the line to drive her. You know, she's built to be on the front end. She's got the right draw and she's racing extremely well at the moment. So it kind of does look tailor-made for her there Saturday night.
Her last start effort was terrific. You would have been thrilled with that run.
Yeah, no, she was big out in front there. You know, most times she finds a front, she's right there in the finish, and she's come up just a little bit short a lot of times lately and run a lot of seconds, but she's been a great little money spinner at recent times.
Okay, so that early scratching of Better Collect, is that a help or a hindrance?
Oh, look, I don't think it really matters. You know, she should be in front. I think the key is to keep her rolling and probably take a bit of sprint out of the others. So, you know, it probably doesn't change our setup or change our tactics.
Okay. Out of Eden, she was a real eye-catcher first up when second. Has she trained on since?
Yeah, that's probably what made it a tough decision. You know, she trained up really well. Her trial was okay, and I was really happy with her first up from, you know, a bad draw and sitting last in the race. I couldn't have been happier, and she really has trained on since, and I expect her to race really well there too.
So did she surprise you with what she delivered in the trial to race night?
Not really. You know, she trained up. I was very happy with the way she trained up. You know, she come from Tasmania and had a little break and worked up really well. And she actually just hung pretty bad in that first trial. We took a bit of hanging gear off, but we added all that back on, and no, she was excellent there first up.
Okay. She's got a fairly high NR rating. Is that going to make it difficult for you to find the right races for her?
Yeah, it's, you know, she's just stuck to those mares QOs. That'll be her goal. But you know, when they're drawn on national rating, it does make it hard for those mares to be in the fight every week. But, you know, when the random barrier draws pop up, hopefully we can land a marble with her.
Okay. But both are going really well and forward showings expected.
Yeah, couldn't be happy with either of them, and it wouldn't shock me if either of them won the race.
Okay, race number 4. You know this mare well, Madrigal. This is the stand start. This is quite a deep race as well. How do you rate her chances?
Yeah, look, every time she comes to the tapes, she grows legs. So anytime she's in a stand start race, you're quietly confident that she can get away and get a good spot. And we've seen before, although not winning one of these stand races, she's run a lot of seconds, and the start's key to her, and if she's following the right helmet, she can be right in the finish.
Okay. She is a really good beginner, like you said, and, the fact that she just seems to excel when it is a stand start. Does it make it a little more tricky that there's only, the front line and the 10-metre line?
Yeah, it does sort of make it a little bit harder, on these stand races, on the lower class horses. If you can get a 20 or 30-metre handicap over the better ones, you can step run and make it very hard for them. But, they are only off 10 this week, and there's some quality horses off that line. And I think the way Frankie Ferocious is stepping, it's not really 10 metres to him at the moment.
Yeah, and look at those other horses there off the front line with you. Mystery Actor, Cosmic Flyer, Captain's Pick. They haven't had a great deal of recent stand start experience. So if she gets away really well like she normally does and finds the front, she looks a genuine top 4 hope.
Yeah, definitely. First off, you got to step, but we'll be going pretty hard in that first turn, not only to try and find the fence, but you got to make it genuine that first couple hundred to try and use that handicap you have.
Okay, race number 8. This is the mare's Quali B division. You're driving She's In Line. She comes into this race as a last start winner, and she's drawn to follow out a good beginner here in Pocketbook. Do you give her some sort of chance here?
Yeah, she's been racing well, and good little sit sprint mare, and I think will be 3 fence there, but that's probably an ideal spot for her in that grade. And the way she's racing, she's definitely a place chance from there.
Okay, when you look at this front line, I think it's going to generate a little bit of pressure, so that may assist you.
Yeah, definitely. The quicker they go, the better normally in these races. So, good tempo and a good sit, she can finish off in the money there.
All right, and what about the stand start trot race? Or this is the mobile, I should say, the trot. Call Me Trouble. He got it all right here on Tuesday. He was back in form. How much confidence does he take from that victory on Tuesday to Saturday night?
Hopefully a lot, and I'm sure the driver's probably taken just as much.
He was good though on Tuesday, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. 2 starts ago when I galloped him away the first half lap, I was thinking of going back in and telling Mark, I think you need to try another driver because we weren't getting along there. But the way he went that night after galloping early, I said, the day this horse doesn't miss away, he is going to win a race. And, it's set up perfectly there for him on Tuesday, and he couldn't have done it any better.
This is significantly harder compared to what he beat there on Tuesday, and you've got that outside draw. How do you sort of handle the start here? Where do you want to be soon after the start?
Trotting, yeah. Hopefully. But, no, if he's actually on the outside, which he is there Saturday night, he's a lot better. It's generally when he's got a horse standing to his outside or starting to the outside on the mobile, you have issues with him. So I think we'll be right there Saturday night. And, I think a mile really will suit him. I don't think I've driven him at the mile too often, but, he can get quite revy and pull pretty hard. So I think a mile will suit him there Saturday night.
He could run a bit of time if he did everything right at a mile, couldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. We don't have the gate speed to probably put him into it, but I would love to be on a helmet trotting and a genuine speed. I think he could finish off well.
Okay, so he's well named, this guy, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he is trouble.
Yeah. All right, best chance for you on Saturday night. Are we going with Kylo and Queen?
Definitely Kylo and Queen. Let's hope this week's her week.
All right, fingers crossed. Really appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thank you.
Good.
As always, a big thanks to our 2 drivers this week, Adam Richardson and Matty Elkins. We wish them all the very best of luck there on Saturday night. Now, as far as a good thing is concerned, I think we can strike early. Race 2, Horse 4, Call to Water. We mentioned in the intro this big race coming up, the world's richest race, the Tab Eureka, only a fortnight away. This guy is going to be competing in that race, and his last couple of runs have been okay. He's going to be the outsider, the rank outsider in the Tab Eureka, but I think he gets a perfect opportunity to go south with some winning form. I think this is a race well within his reach. He hasn't won a race since that big upset victory in dramatic circumstances a number of weeks ago now. His last start effort last week against Attachment in that Q-Bred Triad feature was more than okay.
in particular when you consider those sectionals run over the final half. This looks winnable. Like I said, he gets a perfect opportunity to go south with some winning form. We're going to mark him the best bet. Race 2, number 4, Call to Water. It's a good program coming through on Saturday night, as you would expect, our Metro meet. 10 races. We start just prior to 6 o'clock. We'll see you trackside.